Hey guys, today's subscriber shoutout goes to 𝕎𝕠𝕉𝕒𝕈. Thank you for subscribing and being a subscriber. And today's commenter shoutout goes to ⴛ𝐺Chan_is_random. Thank you for commenting and watching my videos. Now, let's get into the video. Sorry if I sound weird, I've been having allergies. But anyway, this morning I was at school and Jenny texted me and said that there's a big new update on Woozworld and it has a lot of stuff that she thought I would love. And so I got really excited. I was like, girl, you know, I'm about to check that out when I get home and I'm gonna make a video. I haven't seen any of the updates so far, so I'm really excited to see them. But yeah, let's go check them out. Woozworld 11.1 update. And it says, you're going to like this one. Hey Woozens, if you're reading this, you'd be pleased to hear that Woozworld 11.1 is now released for web users and is rolling out for mobile users in the next few hours. There is so much in this update, we don't even know where to start. Let's jump into and begin with a few things we're sure you're going to love. The first thing is music is back and better than ever. Many of you have requested that we bring back music. Boy, oh boy, do we have a sweet surprise for you. You now have access to a full library with 20 music tracks that you can play in each of your units. Yep, you read that right. You can now choose your favorite track that will play in each of your units for other Woozens to listen to. You can now create the perfect ambience for every room to share with your friends. Some of our older Woozens will be happy to see the classic music from the old app are also making a comeback in their own section. Stay tuned, more music packs and tracks will be made available over time. Simply open your unit settings to change the unit's music at any time. This is really cool because I've seen people wanting this for so long. It's always been kind of awkward on Woozworld when there's literally like no sound. So it's just silent all the time. I think them adding this is really great and I'm really excited to see what the music tracks sound like and I'm also really excited for them to add gender and pronouns, profile poses, home units, and user vote. Thanks to you, we've made tons of improvements to the profile window. You're now free to change your gender as often as you want. Simply use the gender option on your profile to switch between both options. Please note that the following will change when you change your gender. The idle pose of your Woozen, some of your user titles, some of your relationship titles, some in-game rewards giving clothing based on the two Woozen genders. Gender-inclusive pronouns. Woozworld aims to be as inclusive as possible. You can now choose your preferred gender-inclusive pronouns if you wish so by using this option in your profile. If you select one, other users will see your preference when looking at your profile. Please respect everyone's choice. This is really great. I love how Woozworld is supporting the LGBT community. This update is great if you're transgender and you made your account before you transitioned, or even if you're gender fluid, this is a really great update because you can change your gender however many times you want, whenever you want. And as somebody who is part of the LGBT community and has a lot of LGBT friends and transgender and gender fluid friends, this update really makes me happy. Profile poses. You can now look fresh in your profile window. Use this option to choose how you'll be seen by other Woozens when they open your profile. So this is really cool. You can basically set a pose for your profile. Home units. You can now set a home units, which is where you'll land directly every time you log into Woozworld. You'll probably want to set your home where some of your besties are. That way, you can take care of them right away. This is another neat, tiny, small update that is just, you know, really cool. It's not like a huge update, but it is something that is really nice. User votes count. You can finally see how many votes you and other Woozens have earned in the last week and their current position in the leaderboard. You can also see how many votes total they've earned, ever. I'm actually really excited for this because I really want to see how many votes I've gotten ever. Following the overwhelmingly positive feedback of the private albums in the previous update, we've also made it possible to set albums to friends only. This is really cool. I really like that. I was one of the people who really loved that update. Added a new hide my wallet setting for our YouTubers and streamers to automatically hide the amount of beaks and woos in your wallet. This way, you can stream and record your gameplay with a bit more privacy. You'll find the setting in the Woozworld experience section. This one, Jenny actually sent me a screenshot of it, and thank you so much, Woozworld. Just thank you so much. The amount of times I just couldn't film my entire screen because I didn't want my woos or my beaks showing, I just really appreciate this update. because every time I would film a video that showed my amount of beaks or woos, I would get a ton of comments or private chats just commenting on the amount of woos or beaks I had, or even asking for some, and they weren't even like focusing on the actual video, just the amount of beaks or woos I had. Also, Woozworld, if you're watching this, speaking of YouTubers and streamers, I do have a really good idea for you guys, which I will be talking about at the end of the video. So you should definitely keep watching because I really think you should add it to Woozworld. Added a mute button if the music or sound effects become overwhelming. You can easily turn them off and on again. Added an option when editing your units. When you select multiple furniture items, you now have the option to include the floor items. And then there's just some bug fixes, and at the end it says, be ready for 2 new features coming real soon. We're finalizing the last few touches to 2 new features for all content and games creators over the next few days. You won't want to miss these ones. Keep an eye out for an upcoming blog with all the details. Hold on! Wait! For all content and games creators? Like, content creators? Like me? Like WoozTubers? I really hope that's what they mean by that. And I'm actually going to talk about the idea right now instead of at the end of the video because it has to do with content creating on Woozworld. If they are talking about Woozworld content creators, I really hope it is the feature or update that I suggested to them. I don't know if the Woozworld team saw my idea that I put in their suggestion box, but if they didn't, or if you didn't, if you're watching this, I really think you guys, Woozworld, should make some sort of program for your Woozworld content creators, or to just like show appreciation to them. See, when I was little, I used to play this other popular virtual game that I'm sure most of you know, and it was called Animal Jam. Animal Jam was a really popular online game like Woozworld where you could play as animals, dress them up. And since it was such a popular game, obviously there were a lot of Animal Jam YouTubers and people who just made, you know, Animal Jam videos or Animal Jam related content. The Animal Jam team actually made this program type thing for their content creators and YouTubers. If you were in this program, you were called a Jam-bassador. And in order to be a Jam-bassador, you had to meet requirements. I'm not sure what the requirements were. But all I know is that you had to have a lot of subscribers or a big following. You had to have made Animal Jam content on YouTube or whatever the platform was. And you had to obviously be a positive influence on the community. I'm sure there were more requirements, but I was never a Jam-bassador, so I don't know what the other requirements were. So a lot of these popular Animal Jam YouTubers that had a big following were Jam-bassadors. Now, I'm not sure if they signed up to be one or if Animal Jam just reached out to them, but they were Jam-bassadors. And they had a big following on whatever platform they had, and they were making Animal Jam content. These Jam-bassadors, or Animal Jam content creators, had a list of benefits. For example, in Animal Jam, there were these furniture items called plushies. It was basically a stuffed animal. And if you were a Jam-bassador, you got to have a custom-made plushie that looked just like your character. You also got another furniture item, which was a Jam-bassador plaque, and you could put it on your wall. There were other benefits too, but again, I haven't played Animal Jam in such a long time. It was years ago, so I don't remember all of the benefits. Plus, again, I was not a Jam-bassador myself, so yeah, I don't know all of the benefits that they had. But I think it would be really cool if Woozworld could implement something like that in their game for us fellow WoozTubers or Woozworld content creators, or whatever you want to call it. I actually have some ideas for things that Woozworld could do for this program. First of all, they could call this program whatever they want. I'm not part of the Woozworld team, so I can't tell them what to call it. All I can really do is just give them ideas. The first idea is that WoozTubers or whoever's in this program could get a special unit. They could also get a special trophy. They could get a special title on their profile. They could get a special pose. There could be a Woozworld unit, kind of like that Star of the Week unit, except instead of showing all the people who are Star of the Week, it could just show all of the people in that program. And it could be a public unit for everybody to go to. People in this program could get special events, a special besties, and maybe even a special background theme on their Woozin. Again, these are just some ideas I have for this program if Woozworld were to ever actually add this. I I just logged on and I'm hearing some sound effects. I'm hearing some water fountain noises, some birds chirping. I am honestly loving this. Okay, one of the things that I really wanted to see was how many votes my account has ever gotten. Oh my gosh. I have gotten 51,740 votes on my account. That is a lot. Like, that is so much. I love how Woozworld even added neo-pronouns. That is so amazing. I honestly didn't expect that to be there. They added he, him, she, her, her, they, them, all these neo-pronouns. That is really cool. And that was really unexpected from Woozworld. It's really great to see them supporting the LGBT community like this. Another thing I think Woozworld should do to support the LGBT community is adding more pride flags in the shops during Pride Month, because as far as I know, there's only a few. And I definitely feel like they should add more pride flags to Woozworld. However, one thing I think that they should change, I think they should make it so you can have multiple sets of pronouns. For example, she, her, and they, them. I think you should be able to have both on there, because a lot of people go by multiple sets of pronouns. The next thing I really want to see is the music that you can put in your unit. Okay, here it is. Here it is. I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited. Okay. Oh. Woozworld Classic and music tracks. Oh, there's actually, like, a lot. Some of them are VIP only. I really want to see what Rage Against a Ban sounds like. Okay, so this is basically like rock music. I don't really know what I expected, but I think the name of the song is really funny. I want to see what System of a Mod sounds like. This kind of sounds like a superhero song or something. That's the vibes this song is giving off. Okay, all of the songs are really interesting. I like them a lot. I'm super excited for them to add more songs because I really want to hear what they sound like. This video is getting really long, so I'm going to end it here. Let me know what your favorite part about this update was. And Woozworld, if you're watching this, please take my idea into consideration. I think it would be really cool and really fun. That's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love you guys so much, and goodbye.